Hi, welcome back to this videos. We're talking about Centrify Suite 2016.1, what's new, and now we're going to focus on Unix CLI utilities, right? So the first utility we're going to talk about is uh, the AD object refresh, right? So when would you use this? So AD flush will actually flush the cache and is going to, depending on the switches, it may actually refresh all objects in the cache. And in large environments, this may take a long time, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to minimize that, and there's a utility called AD object refresh that has been introduced. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at some of the groups I have, AD query or, get then password. And I think I have an RSA or a software. Or is it, it's going to be a get then group, right? And, notice that I have all these people in the software group. Um, if I were to use, for example, AD query, this shows me the same group entry, but I can do a -A and then I get more information, right? So let's take a look at what I'm talking about here. So I can go, in this case, I can go to Unix data and I'm going to go to my groups, right? So if I look at my groups, I have this software group, right? It's called this NAD, but it contains everybody, right? If I look at the memberships, notice that it has all the Simpsons, right? Let's just say I wanted to purge Marge for a second, right? So I'm going to go ahead and purge her. So typically I would have had to do an AD flush, right? But now I can do an AD object refresh. So in this case, it's going to be a DCdo. Of course, I'm elevating AD object refresh, and it's going to be -G for group, and we're going to do software. And we're going to do this in a verbose mode. So it's going to ask me for my password because I'm using DCdo. And notice that it actually refreshed the object with group membership. So let's take a look at what it was before. So before it had Homer, Maggie, and Marge. So I'm looking at Marge, and my expectation is she's not there anymore. So we're going to do an AD query group software, and notice that Marge is actually gone. There you go. So in here I basically refreshed just the object, and I didn't have to um, refresh the whole cache. This is going to be really good, especially in large environments, and if you know exactly what the object you want to refresh. Other CLI tools, for example, and not necessarily CLI tools, but if I do yum info centrify DC centrify star, so some information about the newest versions of the Centrify software, right? So OpenSSH is now based on Centrify. I'm actually on OpenSSH 7.2p2. OpenSSL is 102G. Um, Even PuTTY has been upgraded in this one. So if I look at PuTTY's let's take a look in here. We can do an about. So PuTTY is now based on release 0.64, right? So a lot of things have been changed, right? So ultimately, if you're updating your repos, a yum update will work as well. I might have mentioned this also in another video, but now there's a command user the utility is to make sure that uh, our multi-factor is working as expected. It's called adcdiag, and basically it's going to go and check that everything is ready for multi-factor authentication, right? So a lot of new things, and I just want to keep this video short. So in summary, AD object refresh is going to help you just to refresh a particular object. It could be a user or a group. It's going to be part of your arsenal right now. A lot of enhancements also to the utilities, that Centrify uses, including OpenSSH, curl, libcurl, OpenSSL, as well as PuTTY.